Well, Larry, first, right now, we want to give you a look at the man law enforcement is searching for tonight. His name is Kevin Welsh. He is 35 years old, and law enforcement from several different agencies and sheriff's offices are searching for him tonight. Susan, I'm sure you guys can hear it back in the studio. The winds are absolutely howling out here, and they're causing a lot of problems for drivers. And the average price of gas in Wichita was $2.55 a gallon. Last year, it was $3.60, and this year, the average price of gas is $3.75 a gallon. There were 34 accidents here at 21st and Mays. So far this year, there have been 29, and it's not even September yet. The caller threatened to take the woman to jail if she didn't pay a fee, and she says it seemed credible because when she looked at her caller ID, it appeared as if the call was coming from the Sedgwick County Jail. We have just received confirmation that it was an EF1 tornado that tore through southwestern Sedgwick County. The tornado itself was about a half-mile wide and caused a path of damage just over 4.5 miles long. Now, here in this area near Clearwater, the tornado damaged homes, trees, and a lot of power lines. You can see right here, this is just one of many power lines. Just this weekend, there were 63 car break-ins. Last weekend, 54. And the weekend before that, there were more than 80. Up until just about 10 minutes ago, SWAT teams, sheriff's officers, fire trucks were all out here. And the sheriff told us they had good information that Kevin Welsh was inside a building here. But just a few minutes ago, all of those officers left the area. Since thieves are actually reaching into your purse, this isn't going to keep your stuff safe. They say the best bet is just to keep your belongings on you at all times. Live in West Wichita, Parrish, Alleman, KIC News. Jeff, there were 66 passengers on that United flight from Denver. We spoke with a few of them, and they tell us they were stuck in the snow longer than they were up in the air. Who is it for all the lonely people? The first time this barbershop quartet flew into Wichita, there were tornadoes. This time, a blizzard. Now the guys are starting to think their group's name might be unlucky.
You know, with a quartet name like Stormfront, it's bound to happen.
Two members of Stormfront flew in from Denver. Their flight was about an hour, but it took the plane twice that long to make it to the terminal.
I was sitting next to a guy, and we're not really paying attention to what's going on, and kind of taxiing just like your normal taxiing, and then all of a sudden we hear, and he turns to me and he says, "That didn't sound good."
A representative for the airport says the pilot turned onto a taxiway that hadn't been plowed. Crews spent the next 2 hours using plows and shovels to get the plane out. It took so long that a second flight from Atlanta landed but had to wait in line for about an hour.
It was okay for the first half hour. Then after that, it started to get, okay, this is enough of this. We got to get off the plane.
The guys of Stormfront tell us all's well that ends well. They made it to Wichita to perform at a high school all-state music event. Although, after this experience, they say it might be time to reconsider their name.
What a stupid name.
Sedgwick County Sheriff's deputies have hydraulic car jacks in all of their cars so they can change their tires or help stranded drivers on the side of the road. But yesterday, 3 sheriff's officers used one of those jacks to save a man's life. While Justin Burris was working underneath this van, it slipped off a scissor jack, landing on top of him.
The vehicle was pinned on my face, and then my chest was held down. I couldn't move at all. I kept yelling for my dad that I'm going to die, help.
His dad called 911, and the first to respond were Sergeant Gary Hargis and deputies Joe Page and Christy Fisher.
Well, my only thought was get it up off of him and get him out before the van did collapse because it was moving.
I just turned around and started running back to my car. As Christy and I were passing, I just yelled at her, "Go grab your jack."
While Sergeant Hargis kept Justin calm, Deputy Fisher tried to keep the van steady so Deputy Page could use the jack, raise the van, and free Justin.
I just grabbed his pant legs and pulled.
It's not very often that we get dispatched to situations like this and we get a happy ending.
Justin Burris credits his happy ending to these 3.
I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys did everything you could, and it saved my life.
He calls them heroes, but ask them, and they say what they did, it's just in their job description.
No, I don't think any of us did anything more than any other deputy would have done.
I think we were doing our jobs.
If you're not ready to do this type of stuff, then you're probably not cut out for emergency services. I'm just glad that he's okay.
Jeff, police have said they've seen a dramatic rise in the number of thefts and car break-ins. They're a large part of that. Just this weekend, there were 63 car break-ins. Last weekend, 54. And the weekend before that, there were more than 80. As a storm spotter for Sedgwick County, Michael Mathia is used to his truck taking a beating.
I've had some hail damage in the past. Like I said, I've had to replace the windshield a couple times. As you can see, the paint job isn't exactly stellar, so that is damage from storms over the years.
Now, he's got one more repair to make.
Okay, I came out and I saw all the glass on the ground right here. I saw this broken out.
But this damage wasn't caused by any storm. Mathia's truck was broken into by thieves.
You would think that people would have something better to do than something like this.
Mathia's truck is one of 63 car break-ins that happened just over the weekend.
We're talking almost 1 per hour. That's a lot.
The crimes are spread out all over town, outside businesses and in neighborhoods.
Really what we want people to stress to people is make sure you don't make your car an easy target by keeping valuables that are visible in sight. And if you are, you make your car a little bit more attractive target.
Michael Mathia says whoever broke into his truck only got away with a tripod and camera he uses for storm chasing. But the window will cost nearly $300 to repair.
It's frustrating, you know, because having that kind of money laying around isn't something that anybody can do.
Guys, the parents tell me all things considered, their baby is doing fine, but he was born so early that this is the closest they've gotten to actually holding him. Still, they say he wouldn't be doing this well if it wasn't for that Saline County Sheriff's deputy. Chance Betzner's first name was already picked out, but his parents say now the name is a perfect fit. When Chance's mom went into labor nearly 4 months early, it was just by chance help was nearby.
Happened to be at the right spot at the right time, so that saying is true.
I was scared. I was shaken. I was trying to comprehend why is he here so early.
Deputy Jeremy Trossel got to the house first. The paramedics were on their way. He says he called them and they told him he'd have to deliver the baby.
You know, I've done this for 8.5 years. You know, a lot of it's thinking on the fly. You know, I'm not going to say I wasn't scared. I mean, that's a unique situation, but I tried to remain calm for her sake so we could get through it together.
Paramedics stayed on the line to walk him through the delivery, but Trossel says Chance was already on his way out.
We're probably talking in under 1 minute.
Next thing we know, here he is.
Yeah.
Chance was born 15 weeks early. He weighed only 1 pound, 12 ounces.
Just tiny.
Deputy Trossel tells us he's never delivered a baby before, but he has experience with preemies. His own child was born premature and died a few months later.
You've been down that road, so you kind of know the worst what to expect. Help the parents out.
We do thank him so much that he was there to help us.
These new parents say Chance is getting a little stronger every day. They tell us they're thankful for his health and the support they've received from family, friends, and first responders.
We can't thank them enough. It's making me feel good that I know that I have people praying for him.
Chance was supposed to be a Christmas baby, and doctors expect that he'll remain in the neonatal intensive care unit at Wesley here in Wichita at least until his original due date, December 26th. That's right. Well, the guys behind this are convinced that Smallville is based on Hutchinson, and they've done their research. They tell me both towns have about the same population. They're the same distance from Salina, and both are located on the Arkansas River. Whether they're a Superman fan,
I like the comic books.
or not,
No, I'm more of a Batman fan.
everyone we asked around Hutchinson knew where Clark Kent grew up, more or less.
Was it small town?
Smallville.
Isn't that correct? Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
The fictional town is well known around Hutch in large part because of these three superfans. For the last year, they've campaigned online and around town to officially change the city's name from Hutchinson to Smallville.
We love our hometown and we think the world should come visit us.
All their hard work led up to one city council meeting. At 8 a.m., Christopher Weitrick pled his case.
My reaction really was, why? Are they serious? Who are these people?
But Mayor Bob Bush says Chris's enthusiasm won over the entire council. The motion was passed unanimously.
That's one of the things that we're on city council to do, not just to do all the business of city, but also to take the ideas that people have and when and where we can promote them and breathe life into them.
This is what we wanted, and we think that now the whole world will recognize our town as Smallville, Kansas.
So, by the order of the city of Hutchinson, this June 21st, for one day, Smallville, Kansas will exist. And the reason they chose June 21st is because that same day in Topeka, Superman and of course Clark Kent will be officially inducted into the Kansas Hall of Fame.